What's going on YouTube? This is Brainless, and this is a preview for Glory 60 Lyon, taking place on Saturday, October 20th from the Palais des Sports de Jalon in Lyon, France. Shout out to the LDBC, and shout out to the LMMAC, holding it down for the Lions Den. Before I begin breaking down this event, a bit about myself and a bit about Glory Kickboxing for those not familiar. My name is Brandon, and I've been following kickboxing on and off since the mid-90s as a kid. Back when K1 was putting the Grand Prix events on pay-per-view, and back when UFC started to become competition for K1. Me myself, I'm no expert on kickboxing. I'm a fan just like everyone else that follows the sport. My all-time favorite fighter is Ernesto Hoost. Hoost, for me, was the main reason I tuned in for Grand Prix events, for any K1 event. And also, from these events, I got exposed to some of the other great kickboxers of the world, including Simi Schilt, Peter Arts, Remy Bolyaski, Krokop, Badahari, and the late Andy Hook. Rest in peace. Glory Kickboxing got started in 2012 in the midst of K1's turmoil and the emergence of the UFC. One of the first things that Glory did was buy out It's Showtime, which was the premier kickboxing promotion in the Netherlands, and this was done to secure top level production staff and some of the best kickboxers in the world today. Currently, Glory has a multi-year broadcasting deal with ESPN, and it has somewhat of a partnership with the UFC in terms of broadcasting some of their fights on Fight Pass. Anyway, on to Glory 60. The prelims begin at 11:15 Eastern Standard Time on Pluto TV. You can catch those fights online at pluto.tv. If you go there, Glory has its own channel on that site dedicated to past Glory events, fighter interviews, exclusives, and a whole lot more goodness. The SuperFight Series will begin at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on UFC FIGHT PASS. Don't know why the SuperFight Series is on Fight Pass when your prelims and your main event are on free cable TV. UFC, why are you gonna mess with Glory like that, man? Why are you gonna mess with him like that? And of course, the main card is on ESPN, ESPN3, WatchESPN, and I'm pretty sure the ESPN app. Coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna try and not spend too much time on the fighters, as a lot of them are making their Glory debuts. Also, info on these fighters was pretty hard to come by, so forgive me if I miss some information. Feel free to leave additional info on a fighter in the comments. And also forgive me as there will be some jump cuts from this point forward, as I'm going fight by fight. The prelims begin with Yohan Murmu taking on Franck Reoutzkoff in a featherweight bout. Both of these fighters are making their debut in Glory. Murmu, who I expect to win this bout, is a Muay Thai fighter from southern France. He is a 5-year pro that's had over 70 fights. I last saw him at Burning Series 7, where he lost to Charles Francois by decision. That might have been his last fight before this one coming on Saturday. I'm not sure. His opponent, Mr. Rouztof, I have no idea who he is, and apparently neither does YouTube or Google. So, no luck there. The next fight is another featherweight clash with Jeffrey Vives taking on Saeed Ahaggan. Vives is a kickboxer, and Glory has him at 8-4-0 with 3 knockouts, though I'm pretty sure he's had a lot more fights than that. From what I've seen of him, he is a fighter that tends to throw more punches than kicks. His opponent, Saeed Ahaggan, who is 22-5-0 with 11 knockouts. Ahaggan is a guy who likes to mix up punches and kicks, especially kicks to the body. If I were to take a guess who wins this fight, I would say Ahaggan. He likes to be busy, he likes to move around, he likes to frustrate his opponents. So yeah, I have Ahaggan winning this fight by decision. Next up is Cedric Doumbe going up against Hafid Rabdan in a lightweight bout. Once again, these two are making their Glory debut. Doumbe is 29-2 with 13 knockouts, and Rabdan is a combined 78-10-3 with 32 knockouts, but his real kickboxing record is 10-2 with 4 knockouts. Doumbe, from what I've seen of him, likes to stay in front of his opponents, basically walk them down and take the fight to them. Rabdan is a Muay Thai specialist who likes to counterfight and wait for mistakes to punish his opponents. This should be an entertaining fight, but as far as who wins, I have no idea. This is one of those fights where you just have to tune in and see what happens. Next up is Mehdi Kada versus Mustafa Yassar in a welterweight bout. Don't know too much about these two fighters, to be honest. Both of them are making their Glory debut. Kada is a Savate practitioner. Savate is a martial art that is native to France, and Yassar is a Muay Thai specialist. Both of these guys are looking to impress, make a name for themselves. Again, I don't know too much about these two fighters, so if anyone wants to give me some info on one or both fighters, feel free to let me know in the comments. Last on the prelims is a featherweight bout with Tong Fairtex of Thailand taking on Victor Borda. Both Fairtex and Borda are Muay Thai practitioners looking to impress in their debut. Fairtex is a southpaw who has had over 80 fights and winning over 60 of them before coming to Glory. Borda is coming over from Infusion MMA. Other than that, not much else on these two. If anyone has any additional info on Fairtex or Bordeaux, feel free to leave it in the comments. And that is it for the prelims. Next is the super fights, which you can watch on UFC FIGHT PASS, which I will not be doing. I will make sure to have a stream to watch. First super fight is Mikel Palindre taking on Mohamed Souma. Palindre is 25-2 with 9 knockouts, and Souma is 24-3 with 8 knockouts. Both of these lightweight fighters are French Muay Thai, making their glory debuts. Other than that, I have no additional info on these two. So if anyone has any additional info on Palindre or Souma, please leave it in the comments. Dmitry Menshikov of Russia takes on Samuel Debili in a welterweight fight. Menshikov is a fighter who likes to get inside and box more than he likes to kick, which kind of tends to leave him open to taking some unnecessary punishment from his opponents. Debili is a rangy Muay Thai specialist who likes to set up his punches for his kicks, and those kicks he likes to aim high. So if Menshikov is too aggressive in this fight, trying to come in with his punches, he could get caught with a head kick and get slapped. Mehdi Bonani takes on Matej Pinhas of Czech Republic in a middleweight showdown. Bonani is 22-9 with 12 knockouts, and Pinhas is 20-2 with 9 knockouts. Bonani is a kickboxer that has fought in Infusion MMA. From what I've seen, he is a fighter that likes to work his way inside with punches and kicks, but tends to get caught walking in and taking some unnecessary punishment. Pinhas is a Muay Thai specialist that has fought in Fusion Muay Thai MMA. He has fought all over Europe, and he is the current World Kickboxing Network's European Light Heavyweight Champion, though he has dropped the weight for this fight. From what I've seen of him on YouTube, Pinhas is just the better fighter here in this matchup. I expect a victory from Pinhas. Mamadou Lamine Senier goes up against Bruno Chavez of Brazil in a heavyweight super fight. Again, both of these gentlemen are making their glory debut. Lamine Senier is 12-2 with 12 knockouts, and Chavez is 18-1. Unfortunately, as far as the info on these two, I have very little to no info. So if anyone knows any more about Mamadou Lamine Senier or Bruno Chavez, feel free to leave it in the comments. But as far as it being a heavyweight fight, I expect these two to sort of feel out in the opening round and pretty much just go to work in between rounds 2 and 3. Again, as far as who wins here, pretty much a coin flip. It's that kind of fight where I just have to tune in and watch to see who comes out on top. The main event fight on the Super Fight card is a ranked light heavyweight showdown between Zinedine Good Boy Hammerlane, who is taking on Felipe Micheletti of Brazil, who is making his glory debut. Good Boy Hammerlane is currently ranked number 2 by Glory, number 8 by Combat Press. He is a former world professional Muay Thai Federation European, WBC World Cruiserweight Champion, and he is also a 2-time Glory Light Heavyweight Contender Tournament participant, winning in 2016 and runner-up last year. That loss coming at the hands of Ariel Machado at Glory 38 in Chicago when he got stopped. Since then, Good Boy is on a 3-fight win streak. For those who haven't seen Hammerlane is a guy from the opening bell is looking to end the fight quick. He's a very, very aggressive fighter, though he needs to be a little more patient in this fight with Micheletti, as his aggressiveness nearly got him KO'd in the last fight, which was against Michael Duke at Glory 53 in round 1. He almost got taken out there. Of course, Hammerlane would go on to win that fight via knockout in the second round. His opponent, Felipe Micheletti, he's ranked number 8 by Glory. He is a Vale Tudo fighter, and he is the current World Kickboxing Network's Cruiserweight champion. So, 2 champions going at it. Micheletti, from what I've seen of him over the last year, he's also an aggressive fighter. And as I mentioned with Cedric Doumbe in the prelims, he likes to stalk his opponents, especially when he has a size advantage, and I expect Micheletti to have a size advantage, though both of them are 6'3", 6'4". Micheletti is more than likely going to outweigh Hammerlane by some pounds. I imagine 10 more pounds. Hammerlane usually comes in around 208, 210. Micheletti comes in usually around 220 to 230. Both of these guys need a win, yet this fight can go one or two ways. It either goes the distance or someone's going to sleep. Hammerlane needs the win to challenge Artem Bakitov for the light heavyweight title later on, and Micheletti needs the win to announce his arrival and show that he is ready for Glory. This should be a very entertaining main event of the SuperFight card. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on this fight. But again, this fight's going one or two ways. Either it goes to distance, or, like I said, someone's going to sleep. Before we get into the main card, the main event, quick update here. That main card is going to be shown still at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WatchESPN, ESPN app, and ESPN Plus, not regular ESPN. The reason for that is, of course, college football. A bit of a bummer. I was hoping this event would be on free TV, but nevertheless, I should still be able to watch this all the way through. Anyway, just wanted to let you know there on that update. Our first featured fight is a featherweight showdown between number 3 Abdellah Ezbiri and number 7 Victor Leo Pinto. Now, Ezbiri, who is 2-2 within Glory and 46-13-1 overall with 13 knockouts, is a former ISKA World Champion. ISK, that stands for International Sport Karate Association. and he is 13-3 since his loss against current Glory lightweight champion Sitichai Sitsong Pinong, and that was back in 2014. However, Ezbiri is coming off a rather brutal loss to current featherweight champion Pitch Panamrong Kiatwukal. That was back at Glory 53 when he got knocked out with a left high kick in the second round. Bit cautious for Ezbiri because his other two losses were also by knockout, and really those were a result of him getting hit on the counter. Don't get me wrong, Ezbiri is a great fighter, great defensive fighter, likes to move around, likes to set up his attacks. He's a pretty cunning fighter. I just hope he can go the distance, avoid getting stopped in this fight, and do enough to win and get back some momentum because he really needs it. Really hope he challenges for the featherweight title again. Like I said, I hope he gets the win here. His opponent, Victor Pinto, is the brother of Antoine Pinto, who competes in the welterweight division. He is a Muay Thai practitioner that comes with a 3-3 record in Glory. He is also 75-29 overall with 23 knockouts. Victor is making his main event debut and would love to get a win to move up in the rankings. He is coming off a split decision victory against Nate Richardson, and he also wants to keep his momentum going. However, in this fight, I expect Ezbiri to get the win here. He needs it more. He really needs to shake off that knockout loss and get back on track in terms of challenging for the featherweight championship. Next up is a women's bantamweight bout between Sofia Olofsson of Sweden and Glory newcomer Cindy the Cyborg Silvestre. Olofsson is a Muay Thai fighter coming in with an overall record of 48-7 with 24 knockouts, and she is the current World Muay Thai Council Bantamweight champion. Sofia will be looking to bounce back from her debut loss at Glory 55 at the hands of Tiffany Van Soos. That loss coming via split decision. Olofsson, if you haven't seen her, very good fighter. Likes to get in, use the knees. She is also a very patient fighter with good defense that does not hesitate to punish careless attackers with quick combos on the counter. Again, Sofia will be looking to bounce back from her loss. Now, Cindy Silvestre is making her Glory debut with with Glory has her at 26-15-1 overall. I dug a little deeper. Cindy is coming off a very unlucky 2017 that saw her go 5-16. All of those losses coming by decision, and she's had a very shaky start to 2018 this year by going 4-4. Thankfully, she is coming off a win. From what I've seen from Cindy Silvestre, takes a bit to get going in a fight, and if you're especially if you're going up against Olofsson, who likes to press the action, if you're taking too long to get into a fight, you can find yourself down on the scorecards real quick, or even get knocked out. With that being said, though, this is going to be kind of a slow fight. Both these women are very patient fighters, but I am leaning more towards the experienced Olofsson. Her experience is probably going to be too much for Silvestre to overcome, but I'm hoping Silvestre, uses this experience to build upon and help polish her fight game. She's very young, uh, 25 years old, very young. Hopefully she sticks around in Glory, um, and hopefully she can become a star. Next up is a middleweight showdown that I've been looking forward to, between Yousri Belgaroui of Tunisia and Yassine Ahaggan of France. Belgaroui is a kickboxer with a 5-3 record with 2 knockouts. He is 24-4 with 12 knockouts overall. And somehow he is still ranked number 2 in the middleweight division, even though he is coming off getting put to sleep by Alex Pereira at Glory 55 with a right hook in the first round. And this is, twice now that he's been stopped by Pereira since that big win over him at Glory 40 in Copenhagen. His opponent, Yassine Ahaggan, is coming off his Glory 47 debut win against Maxim Varosky of Estonia by decision. Ahaggan is a Muay Thai fighter with a 33-6 overall record and is a former World Kickboxing Network International Champion at middleweight. From what I've seen of Ahaggan so far, he is a fighter that likes to use footwork to keep his opponents at range. He also likes to mix up his attacks at volume and angles. And that may pose a problem for Belgaroui, who likes to close down on his opponents to get some knee strikes in and basically get his opponents out of there quick. As far as who wins this fight, or who really needs this win, Belgaroui really needs to win this fight to prove that he still belongs in the title picture. And I can see Ahaggan making him work for that win. But if Belgaroui is not careful and doesn't take care of business, Ahaggan can steal this one. But this should be a good fight. I'm really looking forward to this bout. Next up is the co-main event, which is a light heavyweight bout between number 5 Stephane Susperregui and number 6 Donegi Abena. Susperregui is a Muay Thai fighter with a 38-6-1 record. He is also a former world champion. And he is coming off a Glory debut loss back at Glory 5. He was knocked out by Daniel Ilunga with a flying knee. I believe that was, I think it was late in the first round, might have been the second round. Since then, Susperregui has been 9-2-1, which saw him get his win back from Ilunga last year. Susperregui is unusually mobile for a fighter of his weight class, and he really makes it difficult for his opponents to land clean shots on him. Susperregui, he has good range, uses the jab well, likes to keep his opponents at the end of long shots where he wants them. Often he will fight moving backwards, firing the jab out on his opponents as they come forward. Or he will bait his opponents into making an attack and then punishing them with high and low combinations. And that's pretty much it on Susperregui. His opponent is 21-year-old Donegi Abena of the Netherlands. He is making his Glory debut. He is coming over from Final Fight Championship in Croatia, and this kid is not afraid of smoke from his competition. From what I've seen, the way he fights, like, this kid wants all the smoke in the light heavyweight division. He's a guy that likes to get in on you, likes to get after you, and just keeps coming. He's also a very patient fighter that looks for his opportunity to strike with combinations and occasionally go for the big knockout punch or kick. As far as who wins this fight, Susperregui is 34. I want to say he's coming towards, the winding down part of his career, and I really just don't know if he has the stamina or the energy to keep up with the much younger Abena. I think Abena goes after Susperregui from the opening bell and does not stop. I think Susperregui gets stopped in this fight. I would be surprised if this fight goes the distance. And with that, it is on to the main event. Now, this was supposed to be Cedric Doumbe taking on Harut Grigorian for his welterweight title. And this video was supposed to go up on Monday. Then Harut got sick and had to pull out on Tuesday. And we were almost left without a main event. Shout out to Glory for having a fighter on standby, and that fighter being none other than Jimmy Vienot. Jimmy Vienot. That has made me more excited for this main event. You have no idea. First, I'll start with Doumbe. He has a Glory record of 7-3 with 2 knockouts. Overall, he is 69, 6-1, and of course, he is the second-ranked welterweight. Doumbe. What else needs to be said about this guy? He's a very exciting fighter. Loves putting on a show for the fans. Has that flamboyant style. He is also the former welterweight champion, and he's on a mission to regain what he lost at Glory 44 to rival Gernhardt. But on that mission, he suffered a surprise split decision loss to Alim Nabiev at Glory 51 Rotterdam. But since then, he has gained his momentum back with wins over Tongchai, Sitsung Pyong, and Alan Scheinsen. His opponent, Jimmy Vienot. This kid, 23 years old, Muay Thai practitioner, and has already faced some of the best Muay Thai fighters in the world. He has made a point of seeking out the hardest competition possible in order to test himself and progress himself, get better. In such a short amount of time, he has already been the WBC Muay Thai World Champion, the World Muay Thai Council Champion, and the World Professional Muay Thai Federation. He's been their champion. man, this kid is something special. I mean, just with the way he fights, I mean, this kid can go. As far as this matchup goes, both of these fighters really need a win here. Doumbe needs a win to, keep pace and get his shot at the welterweight title once Gregorian heals up and gets better. Doumbe cannot afford to lose. He cannot afford to lose. As for Vienot, Vienot is looking to plant his flag firmly in the Glory welterweight division, and this is coming off back-to-back split decision losses in his first two Glory fights. Vienot, he's looking to establish himself in the big leagues, and he's looking to become a star. He is looking to become a star. Like I said, I am very excited for this fight. Very, very excited. With these two fighters, it's tough to predict who wins here. But my gut is telling me to go with Doumbe because, like I said, man's on a mission to regain his title, and he's not going to let Vienot get in his way on his path back to glory. And that is your Glory 60 preview. Again, taking place from the Palais des Sports de Jalon in Lyon, France on Saturday, October 20th. Feel free to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully I'm able to do more of these Glory events in the future. And also, I plan to go live on Saturday with commentary on the fights. Obviously, I'm not showing the fights. I'll be live from prelims on through the main event. So be on the lookout for that event. Once again, shout out to the LDBC, shout out to the LMMAC, and I'm out.